In Sydney, Customs and Border Protection officers are conducting a baggage search on a man returning home from Vietnam.
One of the grounds for selecting this passenger is that his stated occupation is a factory worker. Now, he's fairly overdressed for someone that works in a factory. And usually people do this to evade being searched at the barrier. They overdress and stuff like that, thinking we're not going to search him. So we're going to do a swab on his bag and see where we go from there.
But the passenger doesn't seem overly concerned by the search.
He's very calm. He's not nervous at all.
That may be about to change.
There's traces of heroin in his bag.
That machine detects the presence of narcotics, okay? Yeah. And when I rubbed the swab along here, the machine found heroin. Okay? So I have to ask you this straight out now. Do you use any type of drugs?
No, no.
Okay. Do you know anybody that uses drugs? Do any of your friends or family that you know of, do they use drugs?
No.
Okay.
A second swab is taken of the contents of the man's suitcase. If it is positive, there is a good chance this cool customer is hiding something. Immigration officers in Sydney have pulled aside a female musician arriving off a flight from New Zealand.
At the moment, we have a German national. She's been in Australia for a full 12 months on a working holiday visa, has been away 2 weeks in New Zealand and has now come back again on a tourist visa. Whilst you're in New Zealand, you got another tourist visa to come back to Australia?
Yes.
You're intending to remain in Australia for 3 months?
Yes.
And that whilst you're in Sydney, you would stay with Alex? And that you and Alex have been in a loose relationship for about 10 months?
Yes.
While you were here on your 417, you said you did a little bit of busking and that you worked in a cafe.
Yeah.
You have around between £700 and £800 in your UK account and about $100 in your ANZ account in Australia.
My true intentions are to travel and see my friends and to do my music, yes. I do not intend to stay longer than 3 months.
Yep.
Officer June is not convinced and needs to check some of the details she has given them.
She has told me that she only has £700 or £800 in her account. I'm a bit concerned about that. That's not a lot of money for a 3-month stay. But then if she's intending to stay with friends, then perhaps that's enough money for her.
She will now phone the passenger's boyfriend to see if his story matches.
You're in a relationship together? And how long has that been going? Whilst Eva is here in Sydney, Alex, will she be staying with you? Excellent. OK. Thanks, Alex. Bye.
The story checks out.
At this point, it's looking very good for Eva. It looks like she's a genuine tourist.
But now, a phone call to Eva's previous employer might change everything.
I just want to verify what Eva's been telling me.
We have an image of a bag coming in here. The passenger's a non-declarant coming in from Vietnam. Not sure what these foodstuffs are here.
We're going to have a look in these bags?
Yes, have a look.
A young family returning home from Vietnam have declared nothing on their incoming passenger card. But it appears one suitcase is full of organic material.
Sortie? Go. What's in here? What is it?
You can open it.
What is it?
This is like, you know, the guitar, two guitar. You can open it.
Is it made of wood?
Yeah.
Wooden articles need to be declared because they can carry insects and disease.
Guitar.
But souvenirs aren't the only concern. Biosecurity officer Joanne finds a strange substance made from a bird's stomach bile. It could be a high-risk product, and she calls in her supervisor to examine it.
This is what they call bird's nest, but what it is, it's the swallow the vial. This is a liquid form of it. Normally it is of a solid matter.
Well, for my mum. Bring it. Bring it.
In Sydney, swab tests of this man's belongings have returned positive results for a prohibited substance. While he denies using narcotics, officers will question the man further on details of his trip to Vietnam.
How long have you owned this bag?
I just bought yesterday.
You bought this bag yesterday? Yeah. Okay, where did you buy it from?
In Saigon.
You bought it in Saigon? Okay. Did you pay cash?
Yeah.
Yeah?
About $70 or something.
70 Australian dollars? That's very expensive for a bag.
No.
I thought Vietnam was cheap.
No.
Okay.
With his suspicions aroused, Officer Peter calls for the bag to be x-rayed and asks officers to take a closer look at a defect he has noticed inside the case.
See the gluing and stuff there? See, now that was bought yesterday, I don't think it'll come like that.
A section of the case seems to have been glued back together.
Look at that. Yeah, there's definitely something in there. Definitely. So it's just the side, yeah? The side part? Yeah.
The bright orange on the x-ray indicates the presence of some sort of organic material around the edges of the suitcase.
There could be a concealment in it, so what we're going to have to do is drill the bag. As you can see, it does have glue and tampering. So if it is loaded, it's possibly heroin, but we're going to have to wait and find out.
A passenger arriving from New Zealand says she's here on a holiday visa. But Officer June thinks she might be intending to work, so she's checking with the passenger's previous places of employment.
What I want to do now is ring a few of the people that she said she worked for previously when she was here on her 417 and just see if the employment is terminated, just to make sure that they're not expecting her back. Hi, Kate.
But one of Eva's previous employers is about to drop a bombshell.
So she was just going to be your assistant, like an assistant manager. Thanks, Kate, so much. Okay, bye. I've just spoken to her ex-employer, who is going to, they're going to continue the employment arrangement. Eva has no work condition on her tourist visa. She's supposed to be here for tourism purposes only, so she doesn't look to be, at this stage, a genuine tourist.
Officer June now needs to confront Eva with this new information.
So the situation is, when I was talking to Kate earlier, she said that she has a business and that you were going to be her manager 4 to 5 days a week.
Yeah. I didn't know about that. That we didn't talk that detailed, so
Okay, but you were going to work for her 4 to 5 days a week?
That was, yeah.
Okay. You know that your tourist visa has a no work condition?
Yes.
So how long were you intending to work for?
For as long as I needed to in order to can finance the travelling around.
Okay. Interview is suspended.
June will now discuss the case with her supervisor.
She stated that she had worked for Kate while she was here on her working holiday visa, and that her intention on coming back to Australia was to visit friends and to work again for Kate. She's not a genuine tourist. I would recommend that we proceed to give her a notice of intention.
Biosecurity officers have found jars full of bird's nest medicine, which is made from the regurgitated contents of a swallow's stomach.
You can see this here is a very clear form, very little solid matter in it. Liquid form, it is allowed, okay? If it had a lot of solid matter, we would say no.
So this is allowed?
This one is okay.
Thank you. Because my mum, she loves this one.
Yeah.
That's okay, we'll put them there. Okay, more food. Even more.
Why mushroom, is it? Yeah.
one of my
What's
fruit.
this one?
One of my fruit, but I don't know how to say English.
There's a problem with these ones. They need to be commercially packed if you want to bring them in. So these ones we have to take.
I need you to do the job. Whatever you say, you take it, you take it.
Yeah, we have to take these ones. Yeah.
This one too.
Can't be sure there's not insects inside, laying eggs inside the mushroom. Okay. It means it may not be clean enough, or maybe there's other kinds of mushroom deep inside.
No, everything all right now?
This one's all right.
I'm sorry, because we didn't have no idea. I don't know to pack up this thing.
Yeah.
I understand you got a job to do. You do the job. I have no idea.
The passengers don't seem to mind the delay or losing some of their food. But their failure to declare means they could be facing a hefty fine.
They are Australians. They have travelled frequently back and forth. They know better. They've filled the card out many times. I asked her, okay, so why didn't you declare all the things in here? What was her reason? And she said she was tired. For me, that's just not good enough.
An X-ray of this passenger's suitcase has revealed an unusual organic material inside. Officers suspect it may be concealed narcotics and question the passenger further.
Is there anything you want to tell me now before we continue?
No.
Okay, all right. What's happened is we've put this bag through the X-ray.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, there are things inside this bag that shouldn't be there, what we call inconsistencies. Okay? What we are going to do now, we are going to get a drill, and we are going to drill holes in this bag, right? And whatever's inside this bag that we can't identify, we're going to test it, okay?
The suitcase is taken to an examination room while the passenger waits.
Is that just the bag, or is that white stuff coming out?
It's the bag.
After drilling several holes, no powdery substance is apparent, so officers decide to open it up.
Is that?
At first, all that seems out of place is a lining of cardboard inside the case.
That's not what you'd find in the bag, is it? Normally on the inside?
That's not normal. The glue's not normal. Finding that's been added to the bag.
But then they see something of interest.
There you go.
This couple said they were too tired to declare an entire suitcase full of organic items. Biosecurity officers will seize the prohibited mushrooms and mysterious dried fruit, and they will have to decide on the penalty.
Number one, we don't know what it is.
Okay.
We're not sure what it is. Number two, it has skin on the fruit, and the skin...
Even I don't know what is it. I don't know what is it. First I see it.
If you don't know, I don't know. How can we let it in? So the skin of the fruit is actually what holds the diseases of the plant. Also, there are seeds inside.
Oh, okay.
All the seeds down the bottom.
They're not allowed to because they can grow up from
they
here.
They can grow, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's why it's prohibited. That's why you can't have it. And that's why it's $220 fine.
220.
220 because of the high risk of this one.
Okay. You know, the thing, wherever make mistake, right? You learn mistake and then pay the fine. What the point to argue, what the point to, try to, bargain or what. Pay the fine and go.
Here you kind of get a mixed rapport where some people, they're quite happily to be educated. Others, they may get a bit stubborn. They don't want to be educated. They know that you're taking something away from them, and that's enough for them to get very angry.
There you go.
Customs and Border Protection officers have just uncovered a concealment in this suitcase.
So it started from there and all around that way he's done it.
The bag belongs to this passenger returning home from Vietnam. They must now determine what is inside.
Okay, let's Some powder coming out. We've obviously discovered a concealment in this bag here. I'd say the commodity is heroin, but we're still not sure. So we're going to get our officers to come and do a nick test on the substance to find out what exactly it is.
The concealment is substantial, and now officers must ensure the passenger is not concealing anything on his body.
Right, so we'll do the 219 first.
Okay, you understand what's going to happen? Okay? You consent to what's going to happen, the frisk search? You say yes?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, do you have anything in your pockets?
No.
Strangely enough, for this passenger, he's not very nervous. He is pretty calm. It is a little bit strange, but I think he's putting up a wall. He's not showing any signs or anything like that, any physical indicators. So it just goes to show that we can't always purely search people based on physical indicators. Some of these guys, they're very good.
While a narcotics test is carried out on the substance found in the man's suitcase, he requests his frisk search be conducted in a private room. Eva has arrived on a tourist visa, but has now admitted to coming here to work. So Officer June will present the passenger with a notice of intention to cancel her visa.
I did not intend to be a criminal. I'm not a criminal. I do everything, you know, I don't steal, I don't beg, I don't kill people. All I wanted to do was to come back. I couldn't get a second year for work and travel because I'm too old by law. And I did certainly not intend, that was my last option, that tourist visa.
You were granted a tourism visa, and your intention was to come here and work, which is not a genuine tourist.
But yeah, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Officer June will now have to weigh up all the facts, and the situation is not looking good for this traveller.
I've taken your response into consideration, but Eva, today I have decided to cancel your visa. So you'll be detained until such time as the airline can arrange for your removal from Australia.
Okay. I could kind of feel it before I came. I was kind of nervous, and I knew I can feel things. So, well, it looks like I'm not supposed to be here. So we'll see what's going to happen in New Zealand. I don't know.
Yeah, she's very upset. Hopefully she'll be able to go back to New Zealand, live and work there for a while, get herself together, earn some money. It'd be lovely if she could come back to Australia on an entertainment visa and play in the pubs or the clubs.
You think I'm smart, and all I do is try to cover up my shame.
This man claims to be a factory worker returning home from a trip to Vietnam. Following positive swab tests for a prohibited substance from his clothing and suitcase, Customs and Border Protection officers x-rayed his bag and discovered an unusual organic matter inside.
Yeah, there's definitely something in there.
While the man says that he bought the bag the day before his flight home.
There you go.
On closer inspection, officers uncovered a substantial concealment they suspect is narcotics.
There's some powder coming out. Okay.
The passenger must now undergo a frisk search, carried out in a private room at his request, while Officer Jan conducts a narcotics test on the powdery substance found in the suitcase.
Frisk search has come back negative. He doesn't have anything strapped around his body, on his body.
Officers are about to determine if the substance found in the concealment of the bag is in fact narcotics.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a positive for heroin.
Which means that the passenger won't be going anywhere.
Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to go in the interview room. Okay, we're going to question you further. Okay, because we found something in your bag. Okay, so we're going to take you to a room to speak to you further, okay? You understand? Okay.
The passenger will then be handed over to Australian Federal Police.